Fans, this is Jack Kilby, Executive Vice President of Great North Wrestling, and we are here, myself and the incomparable DJ Immortal, to talk about the event that's getting ever closer, and that is the Napanee Schools Out Slam, June the 29th, here at the beautiful Strathcona Paper Center in Napanee, Ontario, a tremendous facility. And we're here to talk about what is going to be a major card of quality professional wrestling coming to Napanee. Once again, it's the first time, DJ, that G&W has returned since a show I understand you caught in 2017. Is that correct?
That is correct. Gangrel was here, fought the infamous Hannibal, well, then known as Hannibal, obviously, the Blood Hunter is what he is known as now. It was a phenomenal match. It was a hard-hitting action as well. The chops absolutely lit up this arena. I just walking in this arena, I'm having PTSD from them slaps that I heard. Those slaps, those chops, they were ruthless. So and I know Hannibal, he has been working out, pumping those guns. So I feel very, very bad for whoever his opponent is coming up June 29th, because I am just glad that I'm behind the scenes and not getting chopped by Hannibal, because my God, he is definitely good at what he does, especially with them chops.
Well, he is coming back for the first time since our big 15th anniversary show last year in Ottawa. Hannibal will be back to face an opponent that I'm going to announce in the weeks to come. But before we run down the card for the fans, I want to thank our sponsors for this event, that being the Buckle in Kingston, Universal Plumbing and Sewer Services, and of course, the great Jeff Hoover is co-promoting this event with us. Jeff's been involved in so many wrestling events in the area over the years, as well as other promotional concerts, etc. So shout out to Jeff and shout out to our great sponsors. But let's turn to the two co-main events of this show. The first being the infamous Rene Dupree, not one of my favorite individuals after he viciously assaulted me in November at the Renfrew Reckoning. But Rene is not going to take anything away from him. He's a multi-time WWE Tag Team Champion, experiencing a career renaissance, and he looks like $1 million. But as I've said, big man, you're going to need all that you bring to the table when you face the newest member of the big money players, and that would be the prodigy Nathan Banner, 6'4", 320 pounds of pure violence, very, very strong, and underrated in terms of his acrobatic capabilities. I know you, being a longtime GNW fan and follower, you've seen the prodigy in action. What do you think the chances are that this is going to be Rene Dupree's last match ever?
I will say, I mean, like first and foremost, Rene Dupree's a legend. You know, two-time WWE Tag Team Champion. He was there right in the midst of the ruthless aggression era. He stepped in the ring with so many greats, but I will definitely say there's one great you haven't stepped in the ring with yet, and that is the prodigy Nathan Banner. And I'm telling you, Nathan Banner is one hell of a hard-hitting, acrobatic. This guy is nothing to screw with. Let's just say you can go back and you can ask Too Cold Scorpio, also known as Flash Funk, because Nathan Banner fought Flash Funk right in this arena that we're sitting here right there. And I'm telling you, Flash Funk did not walk out of that match the same man he was. I believe it was a couple ribs that got broken. So Rene, I'm sorry to say, man, you know, this might be your last match, but if it is, at least you're going to be in the company of greatness, and that is being the big money players, because we're coming for you.
Well, and the other point that I want to make is, you know, Rene, this wasn't personal, but you've made it personal. You crossed the boss, you crossed me, and you crossed the big money players. And I have a lot of resources to hire henchmen like the prodigy Nathan Banner. So at least it'll be a historic night here in Napanee for Rene, and the fans will get to see that. But the second co-main event of the evening is ECW original Kingpin Angel Medina, my podcast partner. He will be facing the challenge of another big man, similarly acrobatic, shades of the late great Bam Bam Bigelow, and I would be talking about Big Daddy Derek Roy. And Angel is putting up his hardcore road trip heavyweight title, a title I saw him win 10 plus years ago, and he's going to be defending that for the first time in a long time. Fans that aren't too familiar with Angel's work should check out the Hannibal TV and YouTube for the many battles that he had in the original ECW, and one of the most notable ones being against New Jack, the late great New Jack, and his involvement in the team with Tony DeVito, known as the Baldies. Who do you pick for this one, DJ?
I'm going to be biased here. When I say biased, everyone knows me, knows that I love ECW. ECW is like my kryptonite. At the end of the day, I love everything ECW. I'm a hardcore wrestling fan, so I got to go with Kingpin. I got to go with Angel. At the end of the day, he was in Paulie Dangerously's original ECW, hard-hitting individual. He's seen it all. If he survived New Jack, he can survive anything. So I really think he's going to walk out of this match still champion, and it's going to be one hell of a hard-fought battle. I just hope that the fans here at the arena give me a little bit of time so I can have a quick little 10-minute break or so to watch Kingpin kick some ass, because I'm telling you, it's going to be one hell of a great battle and one hell of a great match. But my money is definitely on Kingpin.
Well, I'm going to be the contrarian in this one. I know Kingpin is referring to Big Daddy Roy as Big Daddy Oreo, and he seems to be taking him lightly. And if you watch my podcast with him shooting from the hip, you'll notice that he's said a lot of not kind things about Big Daddy Roy. And I'm going to be going with Big Daddy Roy for this one. But I want to also talk about the legends that we will be having as a part of this show. And I would be referring to WWF competitors, former WWF competitors, that being the legendary Pretty Paul Roma of the Young Stallions, Power and Glory, WCW's Four Horsemen, and Pretty Wonderful with Paul Roma. He will be here along with Mario Mancini, another WWF legend, who will be having his last match ever. But for the fans, I've announced, and I'm
sorry, Jack. Mario was actually the very first person to ever take Undertaker's tombstone. So
absolutely correct, and that's a bit of a source of controversy now. But for those fans that want to, we will be having a meet and greet at 6 p.m. where you can meet all the stars here. But the Buckle in Kingston will be hosting a special fan Q&A on June 29th with Mario and Paul. That will be at the Buckle in Kingston. Stay tuned for more information at that. We're probably going to have it at 2 p.m. Eastern before the show, and you're going to want to check that out because Paul Roma, this is his first appearance here in Ontario in a number of years, and it will be Mario Mancini's last match ever. What are your insights on Mario Mancini coming out of retirement for this special show?
I gotta say, you've seen a lot of amazing wrestlers come out of retirement. I mean, biggest one you can think of is Ric Flair. How many times that man retire and come back? But the one person that if you would have told me would have came out of retirement and you would have told me it would be Mario Mancini, I would have been like, man, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what kind of drugs you're smoking. But that man ain't coming back out of retirement. That man is enjoying it. But as we hear at Great North Wrestling, we do the unthinkable and we do the unstoppable. We are the best there is in Canada, and we got Mario Mancini to come out of retirement to bless our company with one last match. So I think, he's been training, obviously. He's been doing his thing. I think it's going to be a great match, and I'm glad to see that the legendary Mario is actually coming out of retirement just to bless not only our promotion, Great North Wrestling, but the fans as well with one last phenomenal match. I can't really say what exactly is going to go down, but I definitely can tell you that he will not regret coming out of retirement. I can really see him taking the dub and walking out of Napanee and hitting that road and driving down the Highway of Heroes 401 towards that airport with a smile on his face. Hopefully we can bring that spark back to Mario Mancini and actually have him keep doing these amazing matches, because he is one hell of a phenomenal wrestler and a legend when it comes to the wrestling business.
And I want to mention that this will be the first show that Great North Wrestling is partnering with Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. That is the school and promotion run by Mario Mancini and Paul Roma. And you're going to see some of the best talent that Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling has to offer, including in ladies action. We will be having a phenom known as Nikki Duke. She is just a prime athlete, has competed for WOW and other promotions in the States. She is coming up to face women's competition, and you're going to see many of the top talent that they have at Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. So, all in all, fans, it's going to be the event of the year here, especially. I know Napanee is such a great town, such a great community, and they are crying out for quality professional wrestling. Not some of these other rinky dink organizations, but quality professional wrestling as only Great North Wrestling can provide. So get your tickets now at ticketweb.ca. They're on sale there. On the day of the show, they will be for sale here at the building. And we're about to announce another distributing agent here in Napanee. So you'll have an opportunity to get those tickets, but you're going to want to get them early because this is an event that will not be missed by a true quality professional wrestling fan. And I'm personally looking forward to this on a number of levels. But again, I think it's fitting that this historic card will also, in all likelihood, see the last match ever of Rene Dupree. DJ, what are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts is, just like Jack said over here, that it's going to be no rinky-dink wrestling. No, we're not going to have no gimmicks. We're not going to have men dressed as animals. We're going to have real quality wrestling like you grew up watching. And that is going down right here in Napanee. It's time to bring real quality wrestling back to the greater Napanee and Kingston, Ontario area. So make sure you get your tickets. Great North Wrestling school's out June 29th. Remember also as well, keep an eye out for more information pertaining to the Kingston Q&A with Paul and Mario. It's going to be a great day of wrestling. Come out, enjoy the fact that school's out. Enjoy this. Get your tickets now. You can get your tickets available here in Napanee. We're going to be announced at a later date, but if you want to get them right now, get the early bird tickets online. Go to thehannibaltv.com. Snag your tickets today.
Ticketweb.ca.
Ticketweb. And I'm telling you, this is going to be the event of the summer. So get your tickets and be here. Napanee at the Paper Center. You already know. GNW. It's going down. School's out. Let's go.